Urgent Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Pittsburgh Steelers updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Steelers Nation! Today, we have a story that's been buzzing around the NFL circles like wildfire, and honestly, it's one of those stories that could reshape a lot of what we're expecting for the upcoming season. You've probably seen the rumors circulating, the whispers about a potential trade that could send one of the league's most intriguing wide receivers, Lazard, from the Green Bay Packers to, wait for it, the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right. The Steelers, a team known for their gritty, hard-nosed defense and a solid running game, might be about to add a new weapon on offense, and fans are already dreaming about what that could mean for the team's future. But let's back up a bit and unpack everything we know so far, because this isn't just another rumor, there's real substance behind it, and it's got everyone talking. First, let's talk about Lazard himself, because understanding who he is and what he brings to the table is essential to grasping why he's such a hot commodity in these rumors. Lazard, a versatile and reliable target, has been a key piece for the Packers over the past few seasons. He's not just your average wide receiver, he's got size, hands, and a knack for making contested catches, which makes him a real threat in the red zone and on third down. His route running has improved dramatically, and he's shown the ability to be a dependable possession receiver, but what really sets him apart is his physicality and blocking ability, something that fits perfectly with the Steelers' style of play. Now, looking at his stats from recent years, Lazard has been steadily productive. In the 2022 season, for example, he totaled over 500 receiving yards and scored 3 touchdowns, all while playing alongside Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But what's more impressive is his consistency. He's a player who can be counted on to be there when you need him most, especially on those crucial third and long situations. And that's exactly what the Steelers need right now, a reliable target who can help take some pressure off their young, developing quarterback, whether it's Kenny Pickett or whoever ends up leading the offense this season. But why would Lazard, a player who's been a key part of the Packers' offense, be interested in joining Pittsburgh? Well, as we all know, the NFL is a business, and sometimes players seek new opportunities for various reasons, whether it's to get a bigger role, to be part of a team with a different philosophy, or simply because they're looking for a fresh start. Lazard, who's entering the prime years of his career, might see Pittsburgh as a perfect landing spot, especially with the Steelers' commitment to building a balanced, competitive team. The Steelers have always valued versatile players and have a history of developing receivers who can do it all: block, catch, and run after the catch. Lazard's skill set fits right into that mold. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The rumors suggest that there's some serious interest from the Steelers' front office, and that a deal could be on the table if the right terms are met. Of course, we have to remember that nothing is official yet. Both teams are keeping their cards close to their chest, which is typical in these early stages of trade talks. The Packers, on their side, have a veteran core and might be exploring options to rebuild or retool, especially if they're looking to bring in younger players or draft picks. The Steelers, on the other hand, are in a bit of a window where they want to maximize their roster's potential, especially on offense, which has shown flashes of brilliance but also some inconsistency. Think about it, adding Lazard could be a game-changer for Pittsburgh. His ability to stretch the field and make tough catches could open up the offense in ways that help Kenny Pickett or whoever is under center. It could also take some pressure off the Steelers' other receivers, like George Pickens or Deontay Johnson, creating more one-on-one opportunities and forcing defenses to respect the passing game more. This kind of addition could also influence the team's draft strategy and free agency plans. If Lazard joins, it might mean the Steelers are looking to compete now, not just later. But, naturally, there are questions and concerns among the fans. Some wonder about the cap space and whether the Steelers can afford such a move without sacrificing other parts of the roster. Others are curious about the chemistry. How will Lazard fit into a team that has a strong identity rooted in physicality and discipline? Will his style complement the Steelers' existing core, or will it require adjustments? And let's not forget the potential impact on the locker room. Bringing in a player like Lazard, with his experience and leadership qualities, could be a boost for the team's chemistry, especially with the pressure mounting for the Steelers to make a deep playoff run. Of course, we've seen in past seasons how a single trade or signing can swing the momentum. Remember when Pittsburgh added a veteran like Minkah Fitzpatrick? That move transformed their secondary and made them a nightmare for offenses. Lazard could have a similar effect, especially if he's integrated well into the system. His familiarity with a West Coast-style offense from his time in Green Bay could also help the Steelers' offensive coordinator to design plays that maximize Lazard's strengths. Now, let's shift gears and look at what this means for the Steelers' upcoming season. Pittsburgh has been competitive over the past few years, but they've lacked that consistent, game-changing receiver who can turn a game around with one play. Lazard's arrival could be that missing piece. His combination of size, hands, and route savvy makes him a perfect fit for some of the offensive schemes that the Steelers have been experimenting with. Plus, with the team's overall focus on a strong running game and tough defense, adding a receiver who can win contested catches and block in the run game would complement their identity perfectly. And for the fans who are wondering about how this might impact the team's draft plans, it's worth noting that Pittsburgh has been generally focused on strengthening their defense and offensive line in recent drafts. However, an addition like Lazard might shift their priorities. Perhaps they'll look to add a speedster or a more explosive playmaker in the draft if Lazard comes aboard. Or maybe they'll double down on defense, knowing they have a reliable receiver to throw to. Either way, the front office's strategy will be fascinating to watch as the offseason unfolds. Now, let's talk about the big picture. If this trade does happen, it could set off a chain reaction across the league. Other teams will be watching the Steelers move closely, especially those fighting for playoff spots or trying to build a playoff-caliber roster. The NFL is a league of small margins, and sometimes a single trade or signing can tip the balance in favor of one team or another. For the Steelers, adding Lazard could be the piece that pushes them over the edge, turning a team that's been on the cusp into a true contender. But until we get official confirmation, everything remains in the realm of speculation. Still, the excitement is real, and the anticipation among fans is palpable. The idea of Lazard, wearing the black and gold, running routes across Heinz Field, well, that's a picture that's sure to energize the fanbase. It's a move that could send ripples across the league, and honestly, it's one of those stories that keeps us all glued to our screens and social media feeds. We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds, but one thing's for sure, if Lazard does make the switch to Pittsburgh, it'll be a game-changer. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Now, what could this mean for the Steelers season? Well, if Lazard joins, it immediately boosts their chances of making a deep playoff run. His presence on the field adds a layer of versatility that Pittsburgh has been craving. Think about the possibilities: big plays down the sideline, clutch catches in crunch time, and a receiver who can help take the pressure off the younger guys. It's exactly the kind of move that can elevate the entire offense, making defenses think twice and opening up opportunities elsewhere. And don't forget, Lazard isn't just a receiver, he's also a leader on and off the field. His veteran presence could be invaluable for a team that's still developing its identity. The Steelers have a lot of young talent: Pickens, Johnson, and even Najee Harris, who all stand to benefit from having a player like Lazard around. His work ethic and professionalism could set a standard in the locker room, fostering a culture of winning and accountability. Now, looking ahead, the Steelers' coaching staff will have to work out how best to incorporate Lazard into their game plans. Will they use him primarily on the outside, or will they move him around to create mismatches? How will his blocking skills be utilized in their run-heavy schemes? These are questions that the coaching staff will be analyzing closely during OTAs and training camp. If Lazard makes the team's roster, expect to see some creative formations and play calls designed to maximize his strengths and keep defenses guessing. From a historical perspective, the Steelers have always been a team that emphasizes tough, physical football, but they've also shown a willingness to adapt and evolve. Adding Lazard fits perfectly into this philosophy. He's a gritty, dependable receiver who can do the dirty work, but also has the athletic ability to make big plays. It's a classic Steelers move, adding a reliable piece to the puzzle, someone who embodies their tough, resilient identity. Of course, we must also consider the bigger picture of the NFL offseason. Trades like this often depend on cap space, draft picks, and the strategic direction of both teams involved. The Packers might be looking to rebuild or acquire draft capital, while the Steelers are aiming to contend now. If this trade goes through, it could be a sign that the Steelers are serious about making a push for the playoffs, perhaps even a Super Bowl run. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends if executed properly. And just imagine the fans' reactions once this rumor turns into an official signing. The excitement, the debates, the predictions, this is what makes NFL offseason so captivating. Every move is scrutinized, every signing analyzed, because in this league, a single player can change everything. That's why the potential addition of Lazard to the Steelers roster has everyone talking. It's not just about filling a hole, it's about making a statement, about showing that Pittsburgh is serious about competing at the highest level. Now, wrapping up, I want to remind you all that we're closely monitoring this situation. As soon as any official news drops, you'll be the first to know right here. We're committed to bringing you the latest updates, expert analysis, and all the inside scoop. So, stay tuned, keep those comments coming. What do you think about Lazard potentially joining the Steelers? Do you believe he's the missing piece that can help them reach the next level? Or do you think they should focus on other areas? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into one of the hottest rumors of the NFL offseason. Remember, in Steelers Nation, every move counts, and we're here to keep you informed and engaged every step of the way. Until next time, keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's hope for some exciting developments soon. Go Steelers!